Okay.
My father-in-law is 93. He'll be 93 in June. We downsized him once from his 4-bedroom house into an apartment with 1 bedroom. And he's been living on his own independently for the last 6 years in that apartment. And it just became apparent in the early part of this year that it was time to move him into a retirement home. So in the past, I guess I've had a bit of a reputation as an auction junkie. And so I've known Barry and Alicia, and of course Kathy, through the live auction years when they were running the live auctions. So I called Kathy knowing that they were moving in, or they had moved into the downsizing operations. And Kathy and I met at my father-in-law's apartment, and very calmly and very efficiently we talked about the pieces of furniture that we would actually like to have moved into the suite, bearing in mind that some of them might not fit. Kathy measured everything, and later that day she sent me a plan with the suggested positioning of all the pieces of furniture, and wonderfully they all seemed to fit. So we met about a week later to actually accomplish the move. My father-in-law was in a respite situation at this point, so he was not able to take part in all of this activity. So it seemed like we were making big decisions, but I have to say that Kathy took care of reassuring us. So the move, Kathy and her crew arrived very promptly at 9 o'clock at my father-in-law's apartment. And within 3 hours, all of the furniture that we'd identified, together with the hundreds of pictures and photographs and china ornaments, everything was packed up and on the truck. So we then met in the afternoon at the new suite. And within about 4 hours, everything was unpacked. And the 100 pictures were either hung on the walls or placed on occasional tables. And the crew themselves, everything was very respectful. We felt as if they were treating everything as if it actually belonged to them. And it was very quick and very efficient. And so now I'll come back to why I wanted to start with the end. And that is because we moved my father-in-law into his new suite the following day, and he walked in with absolute amazement that we'd essentially reconfigured his previous home. Kathy had taken photographs of groupings of pictures and ornaments, so they were all reassembled in exactly the same configuration. And a couple of days later, after he'd really settled in, he turned to me and he said, "I can't remember where I lived before. I feel like I've always lived here." And that's the end of my story.
That's fantastic.